So you were a vegan for a year?
Yeah.
Talk me through that experience.
It was great. I'll be frank. I was living in a life where I was eating a ton of seed oils, processed foods, garbage, and going through a raw vegan diet. What it did is it instilled self-regulation. So what it helped me do is start having more connection with my food. Right? So understanding, why is it that I eat this? How does it make me feel? What are the pros and cons about it? Now, I wasn't able to sustain it. I think that there's a potentiality where the vegan diet is or could be a superior diet. There's plenty of studies validating it, but obviously this is one of these arguments that are eternal. But I had a great experience on it. I ended up losing a ton of weight because I didn't maintain to a super specific vegan diet. So I went back to a grass-fed meat diet, and I feel great. But it kind of helped me break out of the food matrix because it made me more conscientious as to what I was eating.
My kind of perspective on diet sometimes is, if someone goes from no diet, so let's say you're eating fucking trashy food, McDonald's, to having any structured diet, so whether it's keto, vegan, carnivore, it's going to be an improvement.
Yes.
It's not an optimization, but it's just an improvement, right? It's like
even at the mental level, right? Even at the mental level, because it allows you to start building these filtration systems for food. You start checking the ingredients. Well, what the fuck is red 40 tint? What is this Chinese chemical that they're putting in my food? Well, it's poison. Okay, well, what are processed industrialized seed oils, and what is it doing to inflammation and cholesterol? Oh, well, let me look into that. Well, I have none of this on my plant-based raw food diet. So now I start feeling really good. I'm like, oh, whoa, I don't have brain fog anymore. So maybe I'm not stupid. Maybe I don't have ADHD. Maybe I'm just poisoned. And the rabbit trail begins once again. So it's about instilling the self-regulation that we talked about, and now being more conscientious towards your decision-making process. At the same time, you don't want to go into the vegan diet, which is why I said the raw vegan diet, where you're out here eating the Impossible Burger, which is basically industrialized processed seed oils packaged and isn't really food.
Did you have any supplementation with that, whether it's tablet or even like powders, for instance?
I didn't do any supplementation at that time, simply because I try to avoid any sort of supplements that are unnatural.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What's your take on supplements?
They're great, depending on which ones you take.
And in terms of like the sources of where they come from?
Yeah, you need to study the sources of the supplements. Ideally, if you're going to be taking supplements, I would recommend creatine monohydrate as kind of like one of these building blocks. Magnesium, if you have a hard time sleeping, magnesium is super good for you. And I try to keep it light on the supplements. I want to make sure that I'm getting most of my food and nutrients from the food that I eat. But with that, you also have the bullshit and the psyops of them controlling the food. And when you have industrialized kind of food production, you also lose a lot of the nutrient dense kind of properties of the food. So the food doesn't taste the same. There's a reason why you eat inorganic fruit and it tastes like shit and it tastes like gross. It's because it's not really fruit. It's just industrialized, chemicalized, genetically modified food.